Narrator gentle, emotional tone. Sometimes, heroes don't wear medals or stand on stages. Sometimes, they're just tired souls, fixing engines in the dark, trying to keep life running one day at a time. Meet Ethan Cole, a single dad, a former Navy SEAL, and now a small-town auto mechanic. He doesn't talk much about his past, but the look in his eyes says enough: loss, loyalty, and a lifetime of sacrifice. Every night after work, Ethan drives home to his little girl, Maddie, the only light in his life. But that night, something would change everything. Sound of tires screeching. A car suddenly stops nearby. Narrator: as Ethan locked his garage, he heard a voice, faint, trembling, desperate. Girl's voice crying, "Please. Help my mom. They beat her, she's not waking up." Narrator: Ethan froze. The words sliced through the night like lightning. A little girl, maybe 7 years old, stood in the rain barefoot, shaking, her pink dress torn. He rushed over. In the back seat of a black luxury SUV, lay a woman, bruised, unconscious, and bleeding from her temple. Ethan's instincts kicked in. The SEAL in him woke up instantly. Ethan: urgent, calm, hey, stay with me, ma'am. Can you hear me? He checked her pulse, faint, but there. He called 911, wrapped his jacket around the child, and whispered. Ethan softly: "You did good, sweetheart. What's your name?" Girl sobbing: "Lila, please help my mom. They hurt her because she tried to stop them." Narrator: Ethan didn't ask who they were. He didn't care. Right now, there was only one mission: save them both. He carried the woman into his truck, Lila clinging to his arm, and sped toward the hospital as the rain turned to a storm. Sound of thunder rolling. Tires on wet road. Narrator intense: he had no idea who the woman was. But within 24 hours, the world would know her name. She wasn't just anyone. She was Ava Kingsley, the millionaire CEO of Kingsley Motors, and the woman his daughter looked up to every single day. Music swells, soft piano with distant thunder. Narrator emotional, and as fate would have it, the man who saved her was about to become the reason she learned to live again. Would you like me to continue with Scene 2, the hospital and the hidden truth? Now it'll cover the next 5 minutes: the hospital scene, emotional bonding, and the first major twist. Hours passed. The storm outside had quieted, but inside Ethan's chest, the thunder still rumbled. He sat in the ER hallway, soaked, shivering, his jacket wrapped around little Lila. Lila softly: "Will my mom be okay?" Ethan reassuring, tired smile: "She's strong, Lila. People like your mom, they don't give up easy." Narrator: he said it with conviction, not because he knew, but because that's what hope sounds like to a scared child. A nurse approaches. "Nurse, sir, she's stable. Mild concussion, some bruises. She'll need rest, but she'll pull through." Narrator relieved: Ethan closed his eyes and exhaled, whispering a quiet thank you to the heavens. But when the nurse handed him a clipboard, his eyes widened. Narrator slowly: the name on the patient's file, Ava Kingsley, CEO of Kingsley Motors. The same woman whose billboard towered over his small auto shop downtown. The same woman whose company had just announced layoffs, including Ethan's brother, last month. Ethan to himself, quietly conflicted: of all people. Narrator: but life has a strange way of crossing paths, sometimes through pain, sometimes through purpose. Ava slowly wakes in the hospital bed, weak but aware. Ava groggy: where's my daughter? Ethan, she's safe. She's right here. Narrator, when Lila rushed into her mother's arms, Ava broke tears streaming, guilt written all over her face. Ava whispering, they tried to rob us. My driver, he turned on me. I tried to protect Lila. Narrator, her voice trembled, every word heavy with trauma. Ethan didn't he push for details, he'd seen enough of that kind of fear in combat zones. Ethan softly, you don't need to talk now. Just rest. A pause. The sound of the heart monitor slows. The room feels peaceful. Narrator, for a moment, two worlds stood side by side, a millionaire CEO and a small town mechanic. Both broken in their own ways. Both fighting their own battles. When morning came, the police arrived, statements were taken, suspects were still at large. Ava wanted to thank the man who saved her life, but Ethan had quietly disappeared, leaving only a note on her tray, you don't owe me anything. Take care of your girl. EC. Narrator emotional pause, but fate, wasn't he done with them yet? A few days later, Ava found out that the mechanic who saved her was the same man fixing engines in the forgotten corner of her own company's subsidiary garage. And something in her heart told her, she needed to see him again. Soft piano builds, warm and reflective. Narrator, because sometimes, the people who rescue us once, are the same people we were meant to help heal in return. 3 weeks had passed. The storm had long faded, but its ripples were still moving through both their lives. Ethan was back at his small town garage, oil-stained shirt, hands calloused, heart quiet as ever. He didn't expect gratitude. He didn't even expect to see her again. But life, as always, had other plans. Sound of a car door shutting. He turns. The hum of a luxury car engine fades. Narrator, when the silver Bentley pulled into his dusty parking lot, every worker stopped what they were doing. And from the driver's seat stepped Ava Kingsley, elegant but humble, the woman he carried through the storm. Ethan surprised, soft chuckle, didn't he think you'd find your way to a place like this? Ava smiling faintly, I've had worse directions, and better reasons. Narrator, for a moment, they just looked at each other, two souls from different worlds, connected by something words couldn't describe. Ava extended her hand, her voice soft but steady. Ava, I never got to say thank you, properly. Ethan wiping his hands, hesitant, didn't he do it for thanks, ma'am? You and your little girl needed help. That's all. Narrator, but Ava wasn't there for a thank you alone. She'd done her homework, she knew about Ethan's service record, his injury discharge, the garage he built from nothing, and the quiet struggle of raising his daughter after his wife's passing. Ava emotion thickening, you served this country, and now you're keeping it running, one engine at a time. You're the kind of man we need more of. Narrator, Ethan shifted uncomfortably, compliments never sat well with him. Ethan, just doing what I can. Nothing fancy about it? Narrator, but Ava wasn't done. Ava, Ethan, the men who attacked me, they weren't random thieves? They were part of an internal ring in my own company. They were stealing shipments, laundering money through my factories. I tried to stop it, and they tried to stop me. Narrator tense, low, Ethan's jaw tightened. He'd seen that look before, fear mixed with guilt, the weight of survival pressing on her shoulders. Ethan, so you're saying, someone inside your own company tried to kill you? Ava, yes. And the police think one of them might still be free. Narrator, for a man like Ethan, that wasn't information, it was a call to duty. He nodded slowly, his voice calm but firm. Ethan, then you're not walking into this alone. If they come again, they'll have to get through me first. Narrator warm but strong, and just like that, the walls between their worlds began to fade. From that day forward, Ethan started helping at Ava's estate, fixing her cars, checking security systems, spending time with Lila while Ava rebuilt her life and her company. Soft piano returns, comforting, hopeful. Narrator, and little by little, something began to heal inside both of them. Ava found safety in his presence. Ethan found peace in her gratitude. And Lila, the little girl who had once cried for help in the rain, started calling him Uncle Ethan. Narrator smiling tone, it wasn't love yet, but it was something deeper, the quiet beginning of trust. Narrator calm but foreboding, it had been 2 months since that stormy night. The Kingsley estate had grown quieter, safer. Or so it seemed. Ethan had become part of their rhythm, fixing what was broken, guarding what mattered most. For the first time in years, he felt something like family again. Sound of Lila's laughter. Lila, Uncle Ethan, race you to the porch. Ethan chuckling, you're getting faster, kid. I'll have to start training again. Narrator warmly, moments like that, they healed parts of him war never could. And Ava, she watched from the balcony, smiling in a way she hadn't since her husband passed years ago. But peace rarely lasts forever. Soft suspense tone fades in, a faint car engine hums in the distance. Narrator lower, tense. That night, as Ethan was closing the garage, he noticed headlights parked down the hill, not moving, engine idling. Ethan under his breath, no neighbors out this late. Narrator, his instincts whispered danger. He went inside, locked the doors, and checked the security feed. 2 men. Masks. Moving toward the house. Sound, door handle rattling, faint footsteps. Ethan firmly, whispering, Ava, take Lila upstairs. Now. Ava nervous, what's happening? Ethan, they're back. Narrator fast, intense, the next seconds unfolded like a scene from his SEAL days, calm, calculated chaos. He cut the lights, positioned himself by the hallway, grabbed his wrench, the only weapon within reach. Thud. Glass breaks. Narrator, the intruders broke through the kitchen window armed, confident. But they weren't ready for Ethan Cole. Sounds of struggle, footsteps, grunts, objects shattering. Narrator rising tension, years of combat